Good evening and welcome to a Mitch and Mocking About the Cards podcast. I'm Mitchell and joined as always by the 1989 SummerSlam winner himself, the owner and proprietor of the Superstition Ranch in Chandler, Arizona, where if you're still around after the trade deadline, your beer is free. Tomorrow after 5 o'clock Central Time, he is the mouth of the West, Tyrell Mock. Tyrell, I don't have a whole lot for the weekend review because it was ass.
Absolutely. It was some terrible baseball to watch. I did not enjoy a minute of it. Thank God you were on vacation, didn't have to watch some of the games that we had to watch while you were out there.
Followed a little bit of it the best I could with the MLB app, but man, it was ugly to say the least. The offense has gone non-existent. But they're now 5-12 since the All-Star break, hitting just 217, averaging 3 runs a game. That's bad.
It's been bad, but the bad thing is they've been in the games as well, and then the bullpen just blows it up at the seventh inning. Like that after you get out at a certain point, it's just like it used to be in 22, 23, and 24. Like you knew something was going to happen because the Cardinals were never winning games, close games. There's something was always happening in the back end, and that's what's happening right now. Is the bullpen's going to blow it every time. It's just thank God today they won and held up with Libby, but it's just been bad baseball to watch.
The highlight of the week, though, is their debut of Quinn Matthews. What were your thoughts watching Quinn pitch yesterday?
I liked it. He was not scared of the hitters at all, moved the ball in and out, had good velocity. Not as much velocity as I thought he had, but he was pitching, and that's what I like to see out of a MLB debut is rather than just come out there and try to throw gas, let's see how you can actually pitch in a situations. And he got himself out. I was glad to see he went five. I thought they were going to play him after four with as many pitches he had, but I was glad to see him come out five and put himself in line for the win.
And then today, Matthew Liberatore, 6 innings of one hit ball. Did Libby figure something out, or is this just the occasion of the blind squirrel finding a nut?
I think it's the blind squirrel finding a nut. I don't think he's figured something out. I think he was going after the Blue Jays. What word I'm looking for here? He was just going after the Blue Jays in a different manner, and they were following suit into it. Their aggressiveness. He was going after their aggressiveness because Toronto's an aggressive type hitting team, and he was going after that. And I saw that. I don't think he's figured anything out. He had some good spin rate on his ball, but everything that he was hitting was balls that were getting crushed by the Cubs and Royals before his last few starts.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you there. It'll be interesting as we look at the week ahead. The Yankees are in town without Aaron Judge. The pitching probables are all to be determined. This time tomorrow, the trade deadline will have come and passed. Who's your five starters? So basically, August 4th moving forward, in your opinion? We assume Dustin May is going to be gone. More on that in a second.
I think May's going to be gone. I think Matthews is going to replace him in your rotation. I think you're going to go left-handed heavy now with Liberatore, Matthews, Leahy, Palante as your starting four. The fifth is probably going to be Dobbins.
I like that a lot. I'm a big Hunter Dobbins fan. But where does that leave Michael McGreevy? Because I've got
Oh, I forgot about
Dobbins,
McGreevy.
Palante, you got Liberatore, you got Leahy, you've got Quinn. Where do you throw McGreevy in there?
I almost think, and I forgot about McGreevy as well. I don't know why I always forget about McGreevy. You're going to have to move somebody back to that bullpen because you have no depth coming up unless you're going to go six-man rotation for a little while to help save the bullpen. But your starter's only going 4 and 5 innings sometimes. Palante and Leahy have been going the longest. Like I said, Liberatore went 6 today. Quinn went 5, but you're going to need some more depth out of those guys if you want that bullpen to rely. So I think you could see, if Libby blown up today, I think you would have seen Libby go to the bullpen. So I think they're going to see an interesting little development there, or I think they might just go six-man rotation for a little while.
Like I said, 3 against the Yankees and then 3 against the Rockies. We'll talk about that more on Thursday's show. The Yankees, 64 wins right now, playing decent baseball. Do you see the Cardinals getting back on track against a good Yankee squad?
No, I think the Yankees are going to make a big move here pretty quick. I think they're after Luis Garcia Jr. right now for the Nationals. I think they're going to make a move, and I think they're going to be all in because they think Judge is coming back, and they're in a fight for that AL East. So I think Cardinals are going to go 1-3 out of this in this series. I think the Yankees are just too good.
Now you're hoping instead of 2 out of 3, you're hoping just to get a win now.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of where they're at. 2 games under 500. Have they regressed back to the mean to be what they always thought they were, or has it just been bad baseball?
No, I think what we've seen is what we've seen all along this year is this team is young and hungry and thirsty, and they're going to play over their skis sometimes, and sometimes they're going to play below their skis, and that's what we're in that stretch right now where they're below their skis and on their they're kind of their like you did say their mean what trajectory because if we would have told us ourselves in March that, hey, by the end of July, or the Cardinals are going to be, a couple games above 500, we were going to took that. Now that we're a couple games below 500, we're right there where they thought they would be. But we've seen exciting baseball, so I'm okay with it. But I think that this is what they should have been and could have been the team all along. It's about a 500 baseball team.
Be interesting to see if they can climb out of it, especially when you play Colorado later in the week. But let's get into the fun stuff. Rumors galore this time of year. I know you were busy doing some social some social calls last night. I was blowing up your phone on MLBTradeRumors.com. Hear about this rumor. Hear about this rumor. Let's start talking about them all. Let's start with an interesting rumor from our West Coast insider. Back channels have confirmed that the Angels have reached out to those representatives of a Daniel Descalzo about a possible managerial opening this season. Kurt Suzuki's on a 1 year contract. They're 40 games below 500, or at least feels like it. Do you see Mo reaching out to the Cardinals organization and bringing in a Daniel Descalzo?
Absolutely. He'd be stupid not to because that's what he's known. He knows that organization, he knows it in and out. He knows it's got a winning pedigree in there. So I could absolutely see him reaching out to Scalzo to come try to manage them because I don't think Poulos is going to want that shit show now. But I think I absolutely he'd be ignorant not to because he knows all those people and everything. So I think our insider's onto something with this one.
Interesting that you brought that up because the insider also reported that Albert Pujols wants nothing to do with working for John Mozeliak.
What a shock, huh? What a shock.
So I do see it being Daniel Descalzo. Just I believe he's a West Coast guy. I thought John Jay would get a look, but I think he's more of an East Coaster type guy, kind of waiting. But I think Descalzo's the next in line for a managerial job, and it'll be with the, the Angels of Anaheim if that happens.
Mhm.
But let's talk about some trade rumors galore. We would be remiss if we didn't talk about Tarek Skubal to the Dodgers, first of all.
For a bag of
They're
baseballs, dude.
essentially their fourth best prospect. Wasn't even their number one.
Yeah, like how do you trade a two-time Cy Young winner for prospects and no major league talent ready? Like, yes, they're major league talent ready, but no major league proven talent. I don't understand that. I know they took on all of his money, but you got him for a bag of nothing. And that is just sad to where we are in baseball right now that a Tarek Schoolboy gets moved for a bag of baseballs like that and not he's worth more than that. That just totally like screwed up the entire trade structure for me and just the deadline the rest of the way.
The Cardinals equivalent was Leo Barnall, their fourth. I, I make that move all day long.
All day. Have no problem doing that either because you're going to get Tarek Skubal at his going into his peak. Like he hasn't peaked yet. That's the crazy thing.
And he is a free agent, but his desire, according to reports, was to pitch in Los Angeles anyway. Yay. The
Yeah.
rich get richer.
Yeah. And I mean, you didn't take anything off of their money either. Like you added money to the Dodgers organization. You didn't ask for Blake Snell back or Saki, somebody that'll help your organization in the future. And now I can't believe that it's baffling that that happens now.
The rumor was Milwaukee was hot on Scooble, and they had offered multiple packages, couldn't work it out because Milwaukee realizes they are chasing the Dodgers. And in a 7 game series, if you could throw Scooble and Mazeroski 4 times out of the 7, you got a really good chance.
Absolutely, absolutely, you do, especially with that aggressive style offense they run.
But now with the Dodgers being able to run out Scooble and Snell and Yomoshi and, even Otani,
Tawny, Sake, like you
good
just
luck.
keep going on.
Yeah, it's not good for baseball.
No, and I think this is just another, and it's also not good that the Dodgers are under investigation right now. One of their owners is for fraud. So it just rich get richer. Here we are again, billionaires versus millionaires, and I don't think it's baseball. I think this is going to just lead to another point of the lockout next year.
Let's talk about some local ish rumors. Now that you're starting to see a couple of the big pitching trade pieces fall, Scooble, Luis Castillo was dealt for essentially a king's ransom. Couple big names still out there. Michael Waka being the big one, our friend from the Royals. Where do you think Dustin May lands now? Because the pitching market is hot, and everyone's reporting the pitching market is going to get real hot tonight into the morning.
I think May is going to go to one of your AL East teams. Is where he's going to go. Your Yankee. You know what? He's on a 1 year deal, but I know Baltimore's out of it. But I know there's some hot rumors about the Jackson Holiday. But that'd be worthwhile to see him go over there to bring something back on a 1 year deal like that we signed him for. But I think he's going to go one of your AL East teams that's pitching needed over there.
I think the Atlanta Braves. I think they're going to lose out on Michael Waka, and they're going to go all in. Not all in essentially, but they're going to go to Dustin May. They just made a deal with the Royals for a bullpen arm and Lane Thomas. I'm sure Waka was discussed. So now that I think they pivot to Dustin May, who is on a contender. He's a 3 or 4 starter.
Absolutely, especially what he had that Sonny Gray start the other day where he went 5 innings and had one hit ball. I think I agree, and I think that's fine for teams that want to that have good starters. He could be a number 3 just fine and be happy with that because then you can use your bullpen. 'Cause your ace is probably going to go 7. You're not going to wear out your bullpen, and May can come in and save you, or May can come in on that third game, and that I like him as a number 3 starter on a playoff team.
Breaking news from MLB.com: Scooble will get the start Tuesday night at Wrigley. Must
Oh.
see TV.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to probably set in to watch that. Just watch the Cubs lose.
Yeah, that's always a good time to watch. There's been a couple names that have been kind of hot here lately. Jeff Passan and then Derek Gould retweeted it about an hour ago. Lars Nootbaar. There's a lot of action on Newt, and the latest rumor is if dealt, the team that is the most hot on him, Newt wouldn't have to walk very far. That was the cryptic tweet. In my mind, that meant the New York Yankees because he would just walk across the visiting clubhouse. What did
Uh,
that mean to you?
that's what it meant to me too, because that's where we're going next is the Yankees, and I figured that too. And we actually said that early on. If we want to see Newt go somewhere, we said that short porch in Yankee Stadium be good for him. I know there's been reports for the Astros as well, but the Yankees need an outfield bat to help them out through here. I think it'd be kind of interesting to see Newton, New York.
The rumor was that the Yankees are going to try to get a platoon situation, and Newt is a solid platoon choice.
I would absolutely be fine with him, platoon situation. I think he's a solid number 4 outfielder. I don't think he's your everyday. I know the analytics say different wise, but on the field and the eye test does not pass with me.
Is he in the Yankees lineup Tuesday?
I know he wants to stay. I think it'd behoove them to trade him to get talent back, but I also know they're asking a king's ransom for everybody. I don't know if the Yankees have the prospects to get it done for what the Cardinals want. I know they want depth for pitching and everything. I don't think the Yankees got it.
I tend to agree with that, or nobody they're going to give up to St. Louis
hmm
for.
hmm
Not for Lars Nootbaar anyway.
Yeah,
Another hot rumor: Von Herrera to Seattle. Have you heard this one?
I have not heard
Seattle
that one.
desperately needs some hitting help, and they got plenty of pitching. They are offering Emerson Hancock, who is basically a clone with a little more strikeout upside. You like that move potentially? Because Herrera
No,
showed today once again that he is not an answer behind the plate.
you're right. No, I don't like that. I don't like that. I want more for Herrera. I think he's your DH of the future if you're going to keep Alec Burleson at first base, and I think he's going to stay a DH. He might do some platooning with the catching, 1 day a week, but he's going to be a main DH. I
He doesn't hit for enough power to be a DH.
I agree. I mean, the Cardinals are slugging what 394 right now, over the last 24 games, so it's not that great. I think he's a lot more potential in that bat, and I don't like. I'd like more in return for him, but that's me overvaluing my own team. So if Emerson Hancock gets coming back, I don't mind a Palante clone because the Cardinals got a good enough defense behind him. I don't mind a pitch to contact pitcher.
The next rumor: Jojo Romero still on the IL, but he's starting to throw a little bit. Where do you see him ending up?
I think he's going to go back to Philadelphia. I think he's going
That's
to
what
go
I read
back.
as
Yeah,
well.
yeah. I think it's where he's going to end up at.
They had him in their organization. He went in the Amando Sosa trade. They're familiar with him. I think he ends up back there. Couple more names for you. Riley O'Brien.
I think, and I think we're on the same page. Like he's going to go to one of your AL East teams again. If he doesn't go to get picked up by the Braves, I think we kind of talked about he's going to be Tampa Bay where he goes because they need some bullpen help.
Tampa's where I had as well. And finally, Ryan Stanek. He's pitched, he's won a World Series before. He's a good, 11, 12, 13 arm for a contender.
Houston Astros.
Back to Houston.
Yes.
I put the Dodgers just because the Dodgers take everybody.
You know what? And somehow they get the best out of everybody. So I could see that move happening too. He kind of fits that mold. He's got that California vibe anyway. That
I
long
mean,
flowing blonde
nothing wrong with
hair.
that California vibe, man. I spent a week out there, dude. I was feeling it. I didn't want to come back.
Hmm.
Chilling on the beach. Like, man, I could do this forever. I just want to coach football and chill on the beach, man. That's my life goal at this point.
Bro, 70 degrees, the sunshine all day long, and the ocean. Oh yeah, it's beautiful out there.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more. Now there was this thing floating around on Twitter. Now you still remember the Juan Soto rumors. It has been floated by multiple sources, and the St. Louis fans have picked up on it. Jackson Holiday's on the block, allegedly. And, hi, bring him home, bring him home. He grew up in St. Louis, spent some time there between there and Oklahoma. His dad's a Cardinal legend. He's 6 months younger than JJ Weatherholt. Former first round pick. He could be a third baseman. Doesn't have a lot of pop yet, but his old man, again, looks like Hercules and can teach him to hit with some pop. Is there any truth to this rumor, or is it just fans begging at this point?
There's always truth to the rumor. There's been some calling, been some in the background been happening. I think this is fans wanting is reaching for it. And I am too. I mean, I'm right there with you. I would love to see Jackson Holiday because I think you get two holidays for the price of one. I think if you get Jackson, you get Matt to be your hitting coach. And we all know that this offense needs something. I don't know if it's a new hitting coach or new instruction or whatever, but there needs something to happen. But now I also say that, but look what Jordan Walker's done this year. So Brownie's done something right with him. Uh, Jackson Holiday can play third base, and we need a third baseman.
It
But
would have, if Descalso were to take the managerial job in Anaheim, it would open the bench coach position that Matt Holliday originally had signed on for
he did
two
sign
years
on for
ago.
that. And him and Ollie are good friends. And I know I'd like to see him back in the organization. I like Matt. I think he's a good instructor. I think he's got a hell of a baseball mind on him. I don't know if Jackson is worth all the hype that is around him right now because he's not. And Cardinal fans are really up in arms and want this now. I don't know if he's going to be worth what he costs you to get him out of control from Houston, from Baltimore right now.
What is the cost? What do you think?
I think you're going to need probably part with Baez and one or two of your arms. We're about talking about Joshua Baez and probably either Doyle or Franklin. And I would prefer, and I think we've already talked about this. I prefer Doyle because I think he's going to flame out in 4 years. I think that motion's too much for him. I think it's too volatile in his arm. But I think you're going to polish with your number one pitching prospect and probably Baez or Rodriguez and Newt maybe to get it. It's going to be a lot to get rid of him.
That's a haul, man.
It is. It is. I think the Houston. I think Baltimore thinks a lot of him, and rightly they should. And I think they're going to want. And he's in controllable years. I think you could. It's going to be a little bit to get him away, pry him away from there.
Could you get away without moving bias? Could you trade a Doyle, a Leo Barnall? Because they're going to move Adley Rushman, and we'll talk about that here in a second. A Barnall, Doyle, maybe a Cooper Herberjay, and a Jesus Baez.
Bro,
Would that get it done?
it would probably get it done because Jesus Baez is got some really good upside and having a hell of a good year right now. I think Doyle being your number one prospect could probably get that done. Bernal being your number one catching prospect too, or I guess Rodriguez is now, but Bernal is showing really good signs of life in AAA. It could probably get that done for you. I'm interested in that Rushman aspect too because they're trying to move him too. I mean, if you really think about that, if you could maybe throw somebody else in there and you get Rushman and Holiday, throw Jimmy Crooks in there. Yeah, see you later.
They're not going to move Rushman or acquire Rushman. I think because the catching prospects are so deep, and two, he is an impending free agent. But I wonder if you could throw in a Paez or a Crooks to help soften the blow and for their major league catching situation now.
I think you could, and I think that's what team's gonna look for is like, okay, we've got the next 2 years while this guy develops to help us out. I don't know, are they in a rebuild mode? I don't know if they are. They had that one good year. I don't know what the Orioles really are thinking about doing and why they're moving these guys. Because hell, they just signed Alonso for a lot of money. So clearly they're all in for this year. I think they need pitching help more than anything. So that's why it's gonna cost more pitching than it is, pro position prospects.
Be interesting to see. I don't think it gets done. I think that's a winter deal. I don't think that's a deadline deal.
Yeah,
But we will
there's a
know.
lot of moving parts to that, isn't there? Yeah,
Yeah, there's a ton of moving parts that I don't know
yeah.
is going to get done in the next 24 hours. Really quick though, let's talk about big leagues as a whole. Do you have a name on your list that's going to shock the baseball world that gets moved tomorrow, before tomorrow's deadline? We're 24 hours away right now.
No, I don't. No, I don't really think of because there's a lot of that that's not out there. I think Jackson Holiday is one of your bigger names that could be moved, which is kind of surprising me because awful young and also awful controllable. Uh, God, it was Scooble was going to be the big one because I don't know. I did not think the Dodgers were going to go after him and get what they. I thought actually he was going to go to Milwaukee, Chicago, or Yankees. Is what I really thought, but I didn't think Dodgers had enough.
I got two. I'm going to say Adley Rushman, interdivision to Tampa.
Ooh, I like that. Okay.
Tampa's got the prospects to get it done. They need catching help. They'll pay the ransom because Tampa can just rinse and repeat.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, they don't and they got new ownership down there who's willing to spend money. So yeah, I could see that. Okay.
And then my other one, Michael Walker to the Chicago Cubs, which would be heartbreaking for me.
I know. I just kind of visioned him in that blue and white uniform, and I was like, oh, gross. But you know what? It could be the Cubs' year. They could beat Milwaukee. I don't like that to say that, but the Cubs are playing pretty good baseball right now.
And do you have any Cardinals that you expect that we haven't talked about to be moved? You know, there was some traction there for about a week, 10 days on Mason Wynn.
I think you're going to have more movement on Alec Burleson, and I think he could be moved. And I think he's got less control than you think he does. He's only got 2 more years, and he's 27. You could get some stuff for Alec Burleson, especially since the Yankees are looking for some first base help. That's why they're going for Luis Garcia Jr. So I think Burleson might be the pick that or the something gets traded that we weren't expecting.
And you could get a ransom for him.
Hmm. Hmm.
Because once again, like everybody else on the Cardinals, he fits really well. He's a really good six hitter, man. He's a
Absolutely.
he is a damn good six hitter. The problem is he almost has a batting third.
Yes, yes, and that's putting a lot of pressure on him to hit for power. And I know he has. Listen, he has stepped up to the plate and hit for more power this year. But to be honest, Burley's a doubles hitter, and he just had that extra pop. He's a Matt Carpenter right now because go over his skis a little bit. Matt Carpenter was turned into a home run hitter and he shouldn't have been. Uh, but yeah, you get a King Ramson for Burley. I agree with you on that.
You
Silver
got
Leaf
to take the
Slugger.
phone call on everybody but JJ and Jordan Walker. You got to take the phone call,
Absolutely, absolutely, have to.
and it's gonna hurt. And I see that possibly being a move as well. Down in Memphis, though, let's talk about some of the replacements for some of these guys. We kind of hit on the pitching already. Does Josh Baez make his debut this week?
We're in August. Yeah, if
Or
Newt
does Fermini play left field until September 1st?
Fermin's playing, they're going to keep playing Fermin out there. They like his bat, they like his moxie or whatever. But if Newt's moved, you won't see him until September anyway. I don't think so.
Gorman hit 2 homers yesterday. So JC's showing signs of life. Are those guys going to come up and fill spots?
No, no, no. They're down there for a reason. They might be seeing signs of life right now, but they're not major league ready yet. Neither one of them. They have to do a total restructure. I don't think you're going to see those guys back in St. Louis till next year, if you see them at all. Because I know they've gotten traction on Gorman as well, but I don't see you until maybe September. But you're not going to see those guys in too many.
Most of the names we've talked about being moved are pitchers, and I see a lot of just the same usual suspects coming up to offer relief help, etc. They might make a move for a bullpen arm just to get him through to cover innings like we talked about. But it's going to be an exceptionally young rotation once Dustin May's moved out of it. Who's going to close? Is Soriano going to close? Is Graceffo going to close?
I think you do go to Soriano because he's been your most high leverage pitcher this year. I go to Soriano, and then Graceffo will be a setup man. And I think that's perfect for Graceffo. I think that guy's got dynamic stuff, and I think he's perfect as a setup man. And Soriano's got some nice velocity as your closer at the end.
Tanner Franklin's in Double A right now. Does he skip Triple A to come help, or do they just let him sit down there?
I don't think you're going to see very many more pitchers make their major league debut this year for the Cardinals. I think it's going to be more position players now. I don't think they're going to skip him that far ahead for that. I don't think so.
And speaking of pitching prospects, again, we'd be remiss if we didn't mention it. To make room for Quinn, they DFA Tink Hens, a former second round pick. In 2024, Tyrell, he was the Cardinals' second prospect in the top
Yeah,
third.
that sucks too because I like Tinkins. He's got that whippy velocity with that little frame of his, but that's the problem. He's got that little frame and a live arm, and that just spells doom for your shoulders, your ligaments. As whippy and as fast as he can bring that ball around, it sucks that he's still young. I mean, it's not like he's the doors closed on him. He's still young, but he just injuries couldn't get him past. I think he's your Anthony Reyes 2.0. Great live arm. I love to see him, but just could not get through it.
He tomorrow. We'll know tomorrow if he gets claimed. Do you think somebody's going to take him on a reclamation project, or is he going to get snuck back into St. Louis?
He's going to get snuck back into St. Louis. I don't think teams are open to that reclaim project as much as once they were. I think now they're so focused on their prospects themselves. I don't think they like these reclaim prospects as much because I think he's going to go to the KBO or Japan, get his shit together, and then come back. I don't see it's happening here in the big leagues. I just don't see it.
I think this is the predecessor to him getting released
Yeah, yeah,
this
it is.
winter.
Yep.
And tonight's Old Man Yells at Cloud. Terrell, let's talk about the airport. Holy shit. Okay. First of all, it was 100% our fault. We took the 5 a.m. flight at LAX. We rolled into the airport at 4 a.m. I got to my gate at 4:48 a.m. It took me 50 minutes to get through TSA and Southwest bag check. I had to pay somebody well far in line $20 to jump. And people were yelling at me in line, like, I don't care, I had a flight to catch. And they had to do the same thing going through TSA. Really? 15 minutes to get through an airport at 5 in the morning?
Yeah, you shouldn't have had to do that at all. That you should have been in and out. That's crazy. Wow, dude. Um, I'm used to flying out of Phoenix right now, man. So it's been a lot better here. So that kind of, I'm sorry. TSA sucks.
And we could talk about the rest of the rants, about, Disneyland, one of the more populated places. We had a great experience. We had a great time. But just the lack of common courtesy the humans have for each other. My daughter, 10 years old, 4 foot nothing. People just standing in front of her during parades or fireworks shows. Because there was, 3 inches of space between her and the other person, a little window where she could see. And you've got grown ass adults cutting in front of a kid.
Oh, dude, it's just, yeah, and yeah, it's been nothing like that since 2020. Like we have lost all of our common courtesy to each other.
However, a very nice couple a family from Argentina who I met made space for her. Talked to
Nice.
them. They've been in the States for a month. They were really cool to talk to. And my wife was like, see, there's still decent people in the world. I'm like, yeah, because they're not American. And finally, tonight, let's talk about SummerSlam, the hottest event of the summer. Kind of a lackluster night one. I remember, SummerSlam was the big ticket thing in the summer. Now it's 2 nights. First of all, what were your thoughts on SummerSlam last night?
I uh I thought it was kind of mid. I mean, there's some good matches, but I just wasn't all that great. Wasn't all that awesome. I just thought it was kind of mid. I was like, whatever. We even talking because we had some friends over last night to watch it with us. Even the girls who do not watch WWE were like, "Hey, how come it's the same guys all the time? Is there any new blood in this?" And me and the guy were talking about like, "Yeah, we just said the same thing. They need to do some more superstars coming in to that sport."
They can't develop superstars. I mean, they've had that problem since the post Attitude Era, of just developing stars and just running the same guys out until, and TV age was something that they talk about a lot. These guys have been on TV for 10 plus years. I mean, you see the same thing every week. That's why I'm not a super fan anymore. I watch the big pay per views, but for the most part, I'm not a huge fan.
Yeah, it's
I do like Danhausen. He's hilarious.
yes, yes,
And
yes.
my daughter loves her some Minniehausens.
Okay, okay. I mean, I didn't even know the dude that Gunther fought last night. Didn't understand that. Well, I know Gunther's the career killer, but I didn't know who that dude was. But yeah, it's been you're right. Since the Attitude Era, they've had a problem developing stars and what they've got, which is kind of crazy when you watch Cena fly out last year and how standing ovation and everything got. And you're like, I never thought he was that big a star, but he was obviously huge after the Attitude Era because there was nobody else after the Attitude Era.
And they're still running Randy Orton's old ass out there.
Yes, they are. Yes. Yeah.
Trying to recreate them, like anything else, they're trying to recreate the magic of 20 years ago.
Mhm.
30 years ago now almost for the Attitude Era, which is scary. That's just how old we've got.
Yeah, I don't wanna think about that too much.
But tonight's blind rank, though, is these 5 WWE talents, and they spanned multiple generations.
Okay.
1 through 5, the Macho Man.
I'm wearing his shirt right now. Blame his flame burned bright for a while and then just went out. Of all 'em, I'm gonna give Macho Man a number 4. Liked him, but we'll see what else is out there.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
For me, he is my number one ranked WWE superstar. Like, brought me into WWE. I was a WCW guy for a long time, then I got in WWE for Stone Cold. He's my number one. Just great wrestler, great attitude. It was a different vibe when Stone Cold was on Raw.
Brock Lesnar.
You know what? As a sports star, Brock Lesnar is impressive physical specimen. Never really liked him as I don't like his attitude and how he is. I'm gonna give him a number 3. So I got Stone Cold 1, Lesnar 3. Okay. Macho Man 4.
But a
Okay.
real interesting guy, like you said, had a cup of coffee in the NFL at a training camp, mixed martial arts champion, multiple time collegiate champion. Dude had it all. Next one, Cody Rhodes.
5. Dude, I don't even know what it is with Cody. I just cannot get behind him. And WWE can't get behind him. Like, they've tried to push him as the undisputed champion. Man, they flamed out on that real quick and gave it back to Roman Reigns. So I don't know where their writing is going on that. But Cody just has never lived up to the dream.
Ooh, good pun there. And finally, The Undertaker.
I love him as number 2. The Undertaker, I watched his entire career span back when he first came out. Solid tactician, great wrestler, great gimmick too. And I Stone Undertaker is solid number 2. I like that list right
Arguably
there.
the greatest gimmick in professional wrestling history.
Bro, right? And it was so easy. Such an easy like gimmick to do. It was great.
You ever watch his podcast? Now that he's kind of let the guard down and told some stories, get rid of his old lady out of there. That'd be really good. But I just like listening to his Tales from the Road, etc.
Yes, yes, yeah. Really is, and that was all encompassing him. I love it. Like, he's a great podcaster, great guy, and really soft spoken giant. You didn't really think how he would be, but I like his podcast too. He's a good talker.
And finally, the future of our program. Sadly, Tyrell, next Monday, high school football starts, and this teacher goes back to work. Our show will probably no longer air on Thursdays. We'll do an extended one on Sundays, as well as breaking news as it happens. But we thank you for sticking with us through the summer. We'll do one more Thursday show this week. For the Mouth of the West, Tyrell Mock, I'm Mitchell Jenkins, and we will see you on Thursday.